Well, folks, I got us another pile. The Husqvarna 40, that's going back to the guy. But now we have two Let's Go blowers, a Tanaka auger drill, Stihl blower, and I believe it's an Echo curve shaft string trimmer. So if they don't need much, I'm not going to make a video about it because he just wants me to, again, go through them. This is the same person, if you've been watching the videos, same person that dropped off a bunch before. And it's the order of the day is go through them all, see what we have, what we don't. If they're no good, we'll get rid of them. If they're rebuildable, we'll do that. So I'll grab something. Let's get started with that Stihl blower. That looks like a good candidate for today. For today, let's work on this Stihl BG50 blower. Very basic looking blower, just has a straight tube, doesn't even have a taper to it, or he's missing the end piece. Doesn't matter either way. We just have what we have here to work with. This looks like one of the smaller ones. I thought the BG60 something was the smallest one, but this one's even smaller yet, BG50. So I believe this is the one. I worked on it years ago. His wife had thrown it across the pavement because it wasn't running right. So I don't know if this is that one or if that was just a story. But anyway, let's see what we have and what we don't. We definitely have some cobwebs. Let's get rid of those. Maybe the spider's home. Maybe he's not. Let's take a look. See if we got an air filter in here. Okay, we got some good debris caught on that. That's what it's there for. Not real dusty, just a lot of thick particles. Cottonwood, stuff like that. It's actually a pretty good filter. It's felt and foam on this side. Pretty smart design. I like it. Not just foam like the old days where stuff would deteriorate and rot out. Ooh, that had a little pep to it there. Okay, he's got, oh. Does that, it looks to have color on the camera, but that looks like, oh, now that I'm stirring it up a little bit, okay. It looked like straight gas. Yeah, that still looks like straight gas. The more I think about it, it's dark down in there, but that's pretty full of gas, and I don't see much color to that. So that is not a good sign. I know this person knows to run mix, but maybe this is not his machine. This could be someone he knows that he brought it. Let's see if the primer bulb will pump up. Yep, I'm seeing fuel priming through that. That's what I like about Echo. They put a nice primer bulb there. Spark plug. Let's just see what this thing does before we start, changing parts or anything. I'm hoping this just needs like a little carburetor tuning or something, but I really have to put this on the ground. Okay, it wants to run. That thing runs amazing. I think it could probably run a little bit leaner, which would give me a little more speed at top end. Might adjust that just a hair. Let's see what this will do. It doesn't. The funny thing about this one, it doesn't have a throttle lock. Every new one would have a throttle lock. Those really don't do much, but it's running so good I hate to mess with it anyway. Try a hot restart. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Maybe this crack is all they were worried about. That maybe it was cutting their hand or something. So maybe I'll just wrap that handle a little. And I'm not going to do a thing with this one. There's nothing to be done. It runs, starts reasonably quick and runs just fine. So that one we can rule out. I'll just fix up the handle a little bit for them. So yeah, it's got a split all the way there. And I can see how that wouldn't be probably really comfortable. What I'm going to use is called Tesa tape. Let's get that to focus. TESA. This is it's not regular vinyl electrical tape. It's a very much fabric tape. This is for automotive. And if you're ever rewrapping wires, this is what the factory uses. It's way more durable than electrical tape. It doesn't conform. It doesn't stretch at all. You got no stretch. But it does stay put. It's the closest thing I got to, you can probably wrap this with hockey stick tape or tennis racket tape or whatever, something like that. But for me, we're just going to tape it today because that's going to be good enough. For today's video, we have an Echo. I think it's one of those ones where you can put the different attachments on it. Curved shaft, string trimmer, and the power head is a little hard to read there. Echo GT 2000 SB. And this one is the one that says Kioritz, Kioritz Corporation. And I know those to be a generation that I don't know if they still are made there. I don't believe so. These are the true Japan ones. And boy, this generation generally was amazingly reliable. I really like the way they put them together. With the primer bulb, primes up quick, less pulls on your arm, a good easy to find choke, and a nice filter here. Let's see what we have for a filter. Yeah, nice felt filter. Nice quality felt filter with a rubber seal. Stays pliable. No dirt has ever gotten past it. That just shows you intelligent engineering goes a long ways. I think some other manufacturers maybe could learn from that. These usually take a beating though, because this is sticking so far off the side. If you're throwing it in the back of a bed of a truck or something, these can get hit pretty easy. You see a lot of times these are chipped up and stuff, but this one, that's not a problem. We got the old school on-off switch here instead of the modern ones would be probably closer to where your hand would be. We have fuel. It looks a little cloudy, and I'm not convinced that's well mixed two-stroke. This is very similar to the blower I just did, and by the way, that blower is getting a half a tank of my mix added to whatever is in here. I'm not going to throw it away because it ran on it, but I am going to add some of my oil in the mix together, just in case that's not truly mixed. At least we'll have some oil in there. I don't want to double dose it, but I also don't want to not dose it. This little cover, that's made to come off because you got your spark plug thing running through there. That can move around, I guess. It's not really broken, but we're going to get it in place because it came out of its little clip here. I'll show you what's going on with that. It's supposed to be down in a little pocket here, and it's come out of there. So just for the sake of making it strong again, let's put it in the little hole first. Here, first, the tab. And now like this. Now that's good. Okay. Love Echo. They always give you a primer bulb. This one's a little hardened. As long as it doesn't pop a hole in it, I'll be fine with it. And it is priming up. I see it filling. Good. So up should be on. See, ready, fired. I see a problem already. I got bubbling fuel here. Yeah, I do see a little oil coming out of that exhaust. Yeah. Okay. He's got oil in there. So what's wrong here is something with the fuel lines. If I put the fuel to the edge, probably see it coming out there. Boy, that runs beautiful. Started right up. So something's wrong with, I saw some bubbles coming out of here. So those fuel lines are, I should be hitting rubbery stuff. So those fuel lines are pretty dried out. And is the grommet any good that they're in? It could be one or it could be both. The grommet still feels pliable. So I think on this one we'll get away with just doing lines. So I think that's where we're going to go with this one. I'm going to do just the fuel lines. Because they are crispy. It's still attached down at the bottom. You have this one here, which is a one-way check valve. Let me get you in there. You got this black one. That little white cap, that is a one-way check valve. Now what that's designed to do is allow pressure in the tank or whatever's there, but when it starts using fuel, it lets air into the tank through that line. This one is either primer or I don't really know by looking at a carburetor which one's the feed and which one's the return. But one helps pressurize the tank and gets the fuel to go up, and the other one sucks the fuel up. So let's get that grommet out of there. I'm going to try to just spill this fuel out of here. It looks very cloudy to me, but it did run. So I'm going to get the fuel out now before it comes out the hard way. Okay, everybody gets to watch me. It'll either be hero or zero on the spillage. Oh, hero level 10. Now everybody can see what I mean. You see that cloudiness? That reminds me of water mixed in there. I could be wrong, but it's just a real light whatever oil they put in there, it's very light. Usually they have quite a bit of dye, so you can tell that you've mixed it, so you don't accidentally straight gas something. And this is kind of suspicious looking, just the same as the blower. It's just kind of cloudy and kind of yellow. It's not anything I recognize what brand that could be of two-stroke mix, two-stroke oil for the mix, I guess I should say. Just in case anybody else has an echo, try to get this to focus. It won't. Just in case anybody else has an echo. So this one I haven't messed with it yet. The one towards the back of the machine, that's the vent. This one is the vent, the fuel tank vent. And the one that sucks up the fuel is the one towards the front of the carb. That's the long one with the filter on the end of it. Let's get these old crispy critters off of there. Oh yeah, that wasn't sealing worth a darn. That one might have been. I'm just gonna dig this in the upwards position. And there we go. Yeah, that was still intact. Sometimes what can happen is the fuel line could crack inside there. And what you'll have is this weight. The reason it's there, if you turn the machine on its side, it'll drop down that way. If you turn it the other way, it'll drop down. It's a weight and it's a filter all in one. So no matter what position you turn this thing should find its way to the bottom of the tank. If it was to fall off, it could technically crack right there. I've seen it. It'll run at the full tank and then you run out of gas. So this grommet looks just fine so far, this fuel tank grommet. So I'm going to probably just leave that alone. A good OEM one is better than a Chinese. A used OEM one is better than a Chinese brand new one any day of the week. So I just want to get this line and the main line changed over. So the key is, well, first of all 3-hole grommets are not the same. There is a replacement one I have here that's much, much larger than this one. So don't just buy a 3-hole grommet and think it's going to work as is. There's a brand new kit off of something I bought. What we want to do, though, is we want to get the same exact measurement from here to the end of that. That's going to give us the same measurement from there to the end of the tank where it likes to hide, where it likes to live. So we want to make the same exact size line, just like the OEM did, because they wouldn't have given us an inch more or less than we would have needed. And same for the engine side. Yep. And I'm going to put it in there. You'll be able to usually see on this, on the line when you pull it out, you'll be able to see where it was crimped in there because it kind of has a little stranglehold on it. And that was not very tight. So here's what I'm talking about. Let me try to get that in the... Try to get it to focus. Yes, it will. It loses it as soon as I move my hand. If we look right about there, I hope you can see that. There's some crimps. So that's what we want to do. And we won't fill our brand new line with junk. Looking for those crimps on the line, making it similar as possible. Good. Vent line, not nearly as critical. And this vent line is too large. There is a larger diameter here, so I'm going to have to use the cutoff from the black hose, the new black hose, and stick that through there because these are all the same diameter. And the vent one, that one's still pretty good. I'm going to leave that one alone, the fuel tank vent. So I think we're in good shape. I just missed that whole thing on camera, didn't I? Wow. Well, so I put this through to where the crimp was on the old one. Exactly right there. Made that one the right size. Put this one in. That's your vent. I'm sorry, that's your primer, which was that long on the old one. And it doesn't really need to stick through. So I have it might not be quite enough, actually. I may have to take this piece off. Okay, let's plan on that. This time I'll make sure I got you in the shot. This piece here is longer. This was the original piece. I'm close, but I'm a little short, but they had it sticking inside the tank farther than you had to. So if I just make it fit inside the tank, just there, no more. I don't need it sticking out that much. I just need it like flush. That's fine. Now I should be about the same length. So let's see if we can get all this put back in now. And I've put this thing backwards. It's supposed to be coming out the bottom of the grommet. Hey. Okay. I can redo things. Camera or no camera. Again, lining them up. Looking for where it was crimped originally. And when I'm saying crimped, it just, this thing kind of pushes around each line as you put it in there. Kind of grabs them. And it just leaves a line. Just witness mark is really all it is. So we've got our new filter on our new line going down the original way. So what I'm going to try here is I'm going to try to tuck it down on the back side first, and then I can get my screwdriver and try to work it down in the tank. But you have to move over there because I can't get it over here. I'm going to try to hold some pressure on that. Holding down on the back side, I'm pushing. Stuff the front end. Oh yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. Yep, that's long enough. Reaches just fine. And then this one is the fuel to the engine. That was towards the front. This other one is the primer thing. And I've just pulled it out. Okay, let's start on this side. It's possible that won't be quite long enough, but I'm trying to make it work, as you can tell. Now, can I get this in there now? Not easily. Not easily. Okay, back out. There we go. Tuck you over there. I guess I should have turned that so that thing was in the back, actually. Ideally, you would turn it so this thing was facing straight up, not coming around. Look at that, folks. All right. Now, something interesting has been happening as we've been working. The fuel, you see it? There's absolutely water in that, and it is about to there. Try to get you a great shot of that if I can get it. I don't know if you could see. How could I show you? Here, that's how I could show you. Tip it up in the sun, and you'll see a layer in there. Right? I'll get you. Once it focuses, it's going to be awesome. There's a layer. See that line? About a third of the way up. That's all water. That's all water sitting in the bottom corner, the bottom left corner. That's all water. Oh, that's so bad. I knew it was cloudy. I told you, folks. I could see the cloudiness. And the thing is, once you stir it up, you won't notice it. I just stirred that. You can't see it. And that'll destroy a two-stroke because you're lubricating your engine with water. It doesn't work very well. Well, not for long anyway. Okay, so I just poured also the stuff from the blower in the earlier video. And look at all that water sitting down at the bottom there. That is bad. That fuel has been sitting way too long. Really bad. If you ever hear me claim fuel only lasts a few months, go ahead and look at this and remind yourself it's true. And just to give you an idea, like properly mixed two-stroke, you see that in the tank now? See that line? See how dark that is? They dye it because then you can tell it's been mixed, that you're using your proper gas. So that's what it's going back home with. Non-ethanol and properly mixed. Bye-bye, water. Ethanol, goodbye. Will it start right up here? Let's get those new lines all full of fluid. Yeah. It's probably running a little rich. I see more smoke than I like to see. You can possibly clog up your muffler screen. Whoops. Don't hit stuff with the other end, the working end of it. The setting I have right now, it's two-stroking quite a bit. I want a more lean mix. You'll hear the engine speed come up as I do that, but you don't want to go for your max speed because then you're running too lean. we got a good idle speed. You don't want to see your string trimmer going at idle speed. When you come off idle, that's when you should see it move. You couldn't ask more out of a string trimmer and powerhead assembly than this one gives. That runs really great for an old machine. Starts nice too. Well, right there is where I'm going to leave this video. We got 2 machines out of the way today, out of the pile, and both were incredibly successful with very little input by me. So I hereby declare that Echo powerhead and curved shaft trimmer head Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching. Now, if you like to see me out here wrenching on stuff and you want to see some more and make sure we can continue doing all this, I do make all my content free for everyone. I intend to keep it that way. But if you have the means, and only if you have the means, could you go down below the video box there? And there's one called Super Thanks. There's a box there. And if you have a few bucks, maybe you want to give a guy like me, I would much appreciate it. And I'll put it towards video editing software, better cameras, better mics, and try to keep the content coming. Thanks a lot.